Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the Dead by Daylight 9.5.0 All Kill Comeback chapter thing. I'm gonna. Oh, that's not what I was trying to pull up. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I still think this chapter was interesting. What I'm still curious about is who was going to be the killer. I'm assuming the killer was supposed to be the female. I did enter the game earlier as they claimed the weekly gift. I made sure not to see anything. I made sure not to see anything about the changes because I wanted to come in fresh, right? I wanted to come in fresh, have my own. But yeah, just because, again, I wanted to kind of those weakness, and I saw a Trickster got a new outfit of the female AI version thing of him that is in, what was it, Quante Young's backstory, which I thought was super cool to see. Sorry if my mind seems elsewhere. I just had a bizarre thing happen right before I started filming of I had surprisingly a really good conversation on Reddit, which ended with, at least so far, it ended with me getting a link to a whole bunch of Dragon Ball episodes that somebody posted on the Internet Archives. I guess they had a whole bunch of, I think they said VHS tapes of OG, Z, and GT, including movies, and they uploaded everything to the archive, to the Internet Archive. So I have made sure to save that on my phone for later. And yeah, I'm excited to look through that at some point when I get a chance. But yeah, I'm just kind of blown away. I had such a good interaction. This picture, man, is really cool. Guess that turns the tunes off. There we go. We want the tunes on. Because otherwise you just listen to me reading. Alright. Alright, we got that taken care of. Let's do his content. New map, Trickster's Delusion. The Sleepless District will be the new realm. I am curious because I've started really playing the game after this point. So for any of you older players, in the sense that you've been playing for a while, let me know about this. But is this map, how much of this map, like how much of the background that happened during Trickster and Young Jin's release, so when the first All Kill released, how much of that background came into the map? I've always wondered that. So if you know, let me know. I believe I saw somewhere online of someone asking about that background, or at least that was like a fan thing people wanted to see was a map for Trickster that was that. And it eventually happened. Sure, it took a number of years, but we did get it, technically. You know, eventually we got it. But yeah, I've just always back to what I was saying. I swear someone may have asked Behavior about that becoming a map, and I don't know if they got a response or not. I can't remember. I apologize. My brain is kind of flawed in a lot of ways. New Survivor, Quan Tae Young, new Survivor perks. I believe I have mentioned this, but in terms of design, he was very generic looking to me. I'm not saying he's bad. Like, I love some of the Survivor designs. I think Young Jin has a fun one. I love Yui a lot. And I love others, but there was something about Quan Tae Young here that came across as generic to me. I kind of wish they would have made it a little bit. I kind of wish, even if nothing else, if they would have made it the clothes that the model wears by default a little bit more interesting, because the clothes were just kind of whatever too. I think if they would have at least made the clothes a little bit more interesting, maybe put a design on the shirt or something, that maybe could have helped him stand out to me, to me. But he was from what I remember, he was kind of generic looking to me, so that's unfortunate. New survivor perks. We got flow state. Whenever a generator is completed, earn 1 token up to 5. For each token, you bless and cleanse homes 8, 9, 10% faster, you heal 8, 9, 10% faster, and you unhook survivors 8, 9, 10% faster. That sounds very similar. I'm not sure if that's different. That sounds the same from the PTB. I could be wrong though. I want to say Orange expressed some concerns over that. I'm sure other YouTubers did as well. I enjoyed his perks. I felt like his perks were a breath of fresh air. So many of the perks we've been getting for a while. Me and Orange have talked about this off camera, of course, but so much of the perks we get nowadays for us feel like they're generic, right? Or not generic, but feel like they're very situational. And we prefer the more generic perks that can help you out throughout the entire trial, because the very specific ones, like, you can only use those in specialized cases. So I'm personally happy with his perks. In my opinion, what steals the show here with this chapter, obviously the map, but that's going to be available to everybody even if you don't have the chapter, is the perks from Quan Tae Young. Again, I feel like he's a little bit, I feel like he's generic looking. That's just my opinion on the model. But on the perks, I love them. I love how they're not. Can I share? Oh, I can. I'll mess with that later. A place for us. While healing another survivor, you both gain elusive, which I think is a fairly... There we go, now I got the tunes going. Place for us. While healing another survivor, you both gain elusive. Whenever you finish healing the obsession, you both gain elusive for 20-25 per 30 seconds. That's a percent for some reason. With the trial starts for your left leg, I call it the obsession. I feel like a place for us. I forget what elusive specifically does. I know it, I swear it like makes the pools of blood a little bit different and like grunts of pain and stuff. But honestly, If you want my honest opinion here, I like a place for us. I like the idea of it. As long as you heal somebody, like while you're healing them, you both gain that effect, which can potentially make you a little bit more hidden from the killer.
You knew finals would test you. You didn't know your allergies
Which
would
I'm
test you
sure,
more.
which I'm sure will be very hopeful for certain circumstances and whatnot. So yeah, I like that. Um, 5 moves ahead while you are in the killer's tear radius or chased by the killer. You see the aura of the 5 closest pallets and windows. After you drop a pallet, you start moving 50% earlier. Because for those of you who don't know, when you drop a pallet in this game, you grab it, right? Basically the animation, and I want to see the 50% animation for sure, but you run over to it, you, regardless of like side, regardless of anything, you grab it, and then you grab like the edge of it and then you just drop it. And from what I remember, yeah, there is a bit of a delay before you can start moving again. So I really want to see the 50% faster thing. Because sure, it's not like the delay is not that long, but anything that can get you past that, like the shorten that delay is huge in this game, because you never know. Because some killers could potentially. There's been instances where I've watched Orange play and he would just nail somebody as killer like during that period, and it's happened to us multiple times on the opposite end. So yeah, I'm excited to see what that animation looks like. But I feel like his perks are really good, and they're actually useful in the sense that they're not like some weird thing where it's like if you. I feel like they're generic enough that you should be able to get value out of most of them, at least depending on your playstyle and how the killer plays and stuff. I feel like his perk build is a build I personally like, where I usually run perks that like help out with gens or maybe some other things, but having perks that just, as long as you play the game and do things like make you better, like help give you that extra help instead of being some like specialized thing you gotta kind of try hard to pull off. I appreciate it. I really do. I don't know why I'm so yawny when I do these gameplay features. Let's see what we got here. Killer updates. Killers update the Trickster. The Trickster now gets style points by throwing blades, injuring survivors, and performing distinct gameplay actions back to back. From what I remember, that was a really cool system. I enjoyed it a lot. It was kind of satisfying to do. I didn't do very well, but I'm not a good Trickster player, and I'm just not a great player at this game in general, though I do enjoy the game to an extent. But I do want to say that a lot of people are comparing this to Devil May Cry. I believe Orange did number of like YouTube comments did, some other YouTubers did. I haven't played any Devil May Cry games, so I can't say. I've seen brief gameplay of some, and that's it. So I can't really say if that's true or not, but I think it's neat, if nothing else. And I like the idea of the system, because he was in kind of an interesting spot before, so I like it. The Trickster goes up in style ranks by earning style points. Each strike style rank improves the Trickster's blade throw rate and locker restocking speed. Main event can now only be activated once reaching the highest style rank. It's interesting to think that I think have seemingly realized where main event's place is. Before they wanted it to like happen way more often. I can understand that. This is a way I feel like, but they just didn't understand that if you do that, he just becomes a freaking machine. In the PTB where they tried changing that, and if you've seen any of my PTB videos or just normal gameplay videos in general, you realize very quickly that I suck as killer and I struggle to kill even the bots. The bots pretty much just have to leave their teammates behind for me to win, for me to even get a kill. And I was getting 4Ks like nobody's business during that PTB because he was just too powerful with how he threw the knives. You were basically just machine gunning knives all the time, and you were just destroying everybody. And I like how they finally realized that this is a powerful tool with 20, and I think it's interesting that it's currently being used in such a way that rewards the experts, right? People who know, like, angles and trajectory and all this stuff with the knife throws. I think that's really cool. Personally, I like him. I like Trickster a lot as a character. I think he's got some great skins. He's definitely a killer I wish I was better at, for sure. I like the idea of the style points and the style rank. I think it's a really nice breath of fresh air, personally. But yeah, what else do we got here? Style points and style ranks are tracked via a new user interface element custom made for the Trickster. From what I remember in the game, it was like this. It wasn't bad, but it was like a little thing at the top of the screen that would like show a number to kind of show what rank you were and stuff. It was cool. It was cool. I enjoyed it. Base kit. I'm not sure how long this will be. Usually the PTBs are super long. Just because PTBs, right, they just uploaded, they just launched all the new stuff and whatnot. I still can't believe I had a good interaction on fucking Reddit of all places. Base kit. The Trickster's movement speed decreased. The 4.4 meters a second was 4.6 meters a second. I think that's fair. I get the fact that they want like faster killers. Think Wesker, think Hillbilly, or just Billy. Bubba. I think Bubba is included. I like calling him Bubba. I don't like saying Letterface or Cannibal. I like calling him Bubba. Bubba. He's Bubba. He's Bubba to me. They get a slower. I think they. I might be misremembering, but I swear there's an update where they made some of the faster killers a little bit. That ad sounded so weird to me for a second there. Okay, that was odd.
Ooh, that's bold. Very bold. Maybe today I'll be a hat person. Calafia cold brew.
Just trying to get this ad. There we go. Crank them twos. I swear there was an update where they made certain killers faster or slower depending on like what their power was. It's interesting that they made him slower. I swear they made him faster during that. But something made them change their mind. I don't know what it was, but they changed their minds for some reason. You're allowed to change your mind though, that's fine. Blade count decreased to 36. Oh, it was 44. That's right, I did that 44. I remember me and Orange had a match, and we weren't sure if they were cheating because Trickster has so many knives, but they, from what I remember, I think they only had to reload like once or twice, and they just kept machine gunning knives out, which kind of felt a little cheaty. We're not, of course, accusing anybody because we don't even know. We're just speculating, but kind of fair to decrease it because he's got a lot. That man can machine gun the ever-loving crap out of people. It's nice. It's insane. I think it's fair to decrease though he doesn't, have so many chances. Decrease tear radius between 4 meters plus 32 meters. Decrease time to enter froze state to 0.3 seconds to 0.35 seconds. So they made that a little bit faster. Decrease time to exit froze state to 1.15 seconds plus 1.5 seconds. See, there's 2 buffs right there. They're minor ones, but they are buffs. Increase time between blade thrust to 0.33 seconds with 0.3 seconds. That's a little bit of a nerf. Not terrible, but it is a little bit of one. Decreased froze, base froze state movement speed to 3.86 per second with 3.68 per second. Oh, hey, there you go. There's a nice little buff. After 5 consecutive blade thrusts, froze state movement speed is decreased to 3.53 meters per second. That's fair. After 10 consecutive blade thrusts, froze state movement speed is decreased to 3.16 meters per second. That's fair. Increases blade throw rate per blade thrown. After 5 consecutive blade thrusts, the throw rate is increased by 50%. After 10 consecutive blade thrusts, the throw rate is increased by 100%. That's fair. That's fair. I like when they try to, you always gotta nerf certain things, but you gotta buff certain things, but you can't nerf certain things too hard because then it just destroys the game, and you can't buff something too hard because that makes the killer basically not fun to play against for anybody and just an easy win button. But if you nerf too hard, then the killer is the one who gets curb stomped by the survivors, and then they're not having fun. You walk a very delicate line with this game, and I don't know what to do there sometimes, Laceration. I'm a little bit surprised I haven't. Let me quickly, before we get to laceration, I'm just gonna scroll down and we're just gonna see how I'm doing it in such a way where I can't read anything. Okay. Okay. I'm just doing this so I know. Okay. Definitely longer than I was hoping it would be. This may be broken up into multiple parts, we'll see, but yeah, we got a long one, so I need to start powering through this sucker a little bit, so just because I don't want the video to be, 5 hours. I don't even think I could film that long. I'm pretty sure my camera would not continue filming if I tried, then that video would just never get uploaded. So, let's do laceration. Laceration now only counted using whole numbers, previously decayed into decimals. I feel like it only counting via whole numbers, I wouldn't say it's worst. I wouldn't say it's worst, but it is frustrating. High profile hotel environment. Gets any oil for the stream from us. So why are we God, America, you so cray. You're so crazy right now. But yeah, I think the decimals was nice in the sense that for the killer, it kind of decayed a little slower than whole numbers because whole numbers are, right, technically it's decaying faster. But I'm sure they had their reason for doing it, so I'm not going to, complain too hard about it. I'm hoping it's a good nerf. Sure, I'm sure Trickster mains aren't happy, but molestation meter decreased to 6 was 8, so it takes less knife throws anyways now to fill it, which is interesting. Molestation meter decayed away. Decreased to 13 seconds, or is that 12 seconds, sorry. Was 15 seconds. So that's interesting, because that means that the time it starts, there's a little bit of a, like, decay delay where before it starts decreasing. And that's interesting, because then making it decreasing, that means that that'll happen quicker. It'll start decaying quicker, which is interesting to think about. Increased laceration stack decay time to 4.4 seconds was 3 seconds. Okay. Interesting. Laceration visual feedback updated. So now displays displayed on the survivor directly for both survivors and killer. Laceration cuts removed from survivor's user interface. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see that someday. Style points. The trickster performing combo actions generates style points. A combo action is triggered when two back-to-back gameplay actions are distinct. Huh. Interesting. The following actions generate one style point. Hitting a survivor with a blade, first hit only. Injuring a survivor from laceration or basic attacks. Hooking a survivor. Basic breaking a down pallet. Basic breaking a breakable window. Damaging a generator. Snuffing a boon totem. So, things that happen pretty often give you one style point. The following actions generate two style points. Hitting a survivor's 4 blades from at least 4 meters without missing or exiting the throw state. Definitely, a lot trickier, so that's fair. Hitting a survivor's blade from more than 16 meters away, also trickier, so that's fair. Interrupting a survivor, also kind of rare, so that makes sense. The following actions generate 3 style points. Hitting a survivor with a blade through small gaps. That one's interesting because small gaps can be very tricky to play around in this game. You have such a small window usually. I can understand why they get that free skill points. I'm surprised they included that, honestly, because it's so tricky to do and rare to happen and, like, finicky. So yeah, I'm just kind of surprised they included that. Style points, or style ranks. I read that wrong, probably because my brain, I'm kind of bleh at the moment, I suppose. What's going on? Do bum bum. style ranks. There are 6 style ranks: E, D, C, B, A, and S rank. I don't remember. I think I maybe left E rank one time during the during the PTB. Though I don't even know if that's right. Honestly, I can't remember. Oh, I delete that. Style rank. Style ranks each have their respective bonus, maximum throw rate, and locker restocking speed modifiers. Higher bonuses at higher ranks. Higher style ranks require more style points to reach. Higher style ranks feature progressively shorter combo timers. Ranks regress to previous in order if combo time overlaps. Earning style points refreshes to current style ranks combo timer. Style rank combo timers are paused while the trickster is performing interactions with survivors or interactable objects. Fair enough. S rank. When reaching of S rank, for those of you who know, watch the Prozy D1sco videos. Survivors at 44 meters in the trickster. Feel killer instinct for 4.4 seconds. That's kind of nutty. Not gonna lie. That's kind of nutty. All survivors are notified across the trial. That's fair. While in S rank, the trickster gains a 44-meter tear radius. Oh, it's the same most. Apparently he has one. I forget what his even is. Laceration meters decay 50% slower. Blade throw and locker restock speeds increase to maximum. Main event can be activated. S rank has a 66-second combo timer. S rank cannot be paused or refreshed, unlike lower style point ranks. S rank always reverts to E rank via timer or once main event ends. Yeah, that's kind of the downside of using main event. Now, if you use it, you just revert all the way back to the beginning at E rank. So then you gotta rebuild up your meter. It feels to me like you rarely, like, I'm sure a lot of people want to hit S rank, but in some ways, to me, it feels like you're better off you're going to A rank and just staying in A. Because if you stay in A, you're still getting really good benefits, but you don't get reverted all the way back down to E. You know, you would just get reverted back down to B, and then from B you would get reverted back down to C. You see what I'm saying? So I just think it's interesting that they made the S rank criteria so tricky. We keep the tunes on here, phone. We do this. Thankfully, I got my tunes on. Press the secondary ability button to activate main event. Main event lasts 10 seconds, was 8 seconds, so a little bit longer. That's good for that. Main event movement speed set to 3.92 meters per second, which is pretty good. The trickster throws blades at 1.67 seconds. The default blade throw speed. Okay. No, not affected by consecutive blade throws and style rank blade throw modifiers. Interesting. Survivors near the trickster are notified. While performing main event, S-rank timer is paused. Each blade hitting survivors awards bonus style points. The trickster can cancel main event via the secondary ability button. When main event ends, the trickster's power goes on cooldown for 4 seconds. S-rank resets to E-rank. The trickster goes up in style ranks over time based on bonus style points earned during main event. And that's one of the nice things about using main event. You get like bonus points from your hits during it, which allows you to go up in style ranks after Cooper CEO was his picture. That's a fun YouTube title I just saw. Which is actually kind of nice. They get you back to S rank a little bit quicker, but if you suck like I do, you'll never even get to use main event anyway, so it's like, okay. The Trickster's add-ons. Man, this is taking forever, ain't it? My goodness gracious. So we got Memento Blades, which were reworked. Displays a reticle while aiming with blades. Trick Pouch increases maximum carried blades by 4. Start the trial with 4 extra blades. Killing part chords, reworked. Increases time before style ranks from D to A decay by 20%. That's kind of nice. So that way you have more time in the ranks in between D, from D to A. Of course, including D and A, which is nice. I kind of enjoy that, honestly. And for no wires, reworked. Decreases showstopper's cooldown after main event by 44%. G Wounds Autograph, which was reworked. Increases the duration of main event by 44%. Wiki Blade reworked. On every 8th blade hit, an additional bonus is assigned at random. Increases throw speed by 8% for 8 seconds. Gain 3% haste for 3 seconds. Gain an additional style point. Neat. Caged heart shoes, which were reworked. When you basic break pellets and breakable walls or damage areas, the next time you enter the throw state, increase movement speed while in the throw state by 5% for 10 seconds. Tequila Moonrock, which is reworked. I might need something like that to get for this video. I mean, jeez, this may be broken into multiple parts. I may fall asleep before we even get through this. This is ridiculous. Tequila Moonrock, which was reworked. Increases throw speed by 15% for 10 seconds after gaining a style rank. Bloody Boa, which was reworked, decreases the speed at which laceration decays by 23%. By 25%, excuse me.
On target, single, rework. Increases time before laceration starts decaying by 30%. Fifth, spin soda, which was reworked. Increases the number of blade thrusts required to slow. Movement speeds while throwing by 2. Waiting for you, watch. I don't really know what that means, but which was reworked. Survivor sees laceration meter fully decays or revealed for 4 seconds. Ripper brace, which was reworked. For each style rank, you basic vault windows, basic break pallets or breakable walls, and damage generators 3% faster. The Melodious Murder, I don't know. Increases blade reload speed at lockers by 25%. Diamond cufflinks reveal survivors' auras for 6 seconds where their laceration reaches 1 hit bow maximum. Wouldn't you already be throwing at them though? I don't know, that kind of feels pointless for most situations, but what do I know? Age of Revival album, which was reworked. Blade hits from more than 20 meters away do 100% more laceration. Trick blades, which were reworked. Blades can ricochet off the environment once, and that can definitely be helpful. I'm not sure how the ricochet like pattern thing works because depending on that, I can see it being more useful. But if it's depending on how it works, I could see it being either almost useless or useful, just depending on how the ricocheting works. Increases laceration by 100%. Reveals survivor auras within 12 meters for 4.4 seconds. Gain an additional style point. Cut preview single, which was reworked. When reaching A rank, survivors within 32 meters are revealed with killer instinct for 4.4 seconds. Death Throws compilation, which was reworked. Refills blades by 50% of the maximum when main event ends. What about the iridescent photo card, which was reworked? Increases the duration of main event by 100%. When main event is activated, reveal your aura to all survivors. All survivors' auras are revealed and block all generators for 6 seconds. Alright, now we're on to the first. It was a fairly new killer that I still don't own. I think him and Krazu are the only killers I'm currently missing. I think. In terms of chapters, I'm missing everything after Walking Dead. So I'm missing a ton of survivors. I want to get them all, but I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess. But I just don't play this game often, and if I get them, then I have to work on getting them ready for the ADA series that I like to do, which has been postponed indefinitely for a while, just because I haven't really wanted to go for it in a while, I guess. Decreased second phase of the World Breaker timer from 60 seconds to 50 seconds. Killer base attack launch speed adjusted from 6.6 meters per second to 6.9 meters per second to be on par with all killers. And I kind of like that, honestly. The first is a cool killer. Some people felt like he was underpowered. Some people felt like he was overpowered. I remember telling Orange about something that I read on not Reddit. It was on Steam. It was a thing on Steam. Yeah, just it was a thing on Steam of some people saying one thing, and then Orange told me he saw somewhere else. I think YouTube or Reddit, or maybe Instagram, one of those three, I believe. He saw the opposite. I think it was YouTube, or it was YouTube or Reddit, I'm pretty sure. But yeah,
The first add-ons. Bead Maze. There we go. Now increases World Breaker timer to 2.5 seconds for each living survivor. Interesting. Shattered Wrist Rocket. I can see Bead Maze being kind of useful. Let's see what the Shattered Wrist Rocket is. Change common rarity to uncommon rarity. Interesting. So I guess people felt like it was more useful. Maybe it was too useful to be common or something. I don't know. They usually don't change rarities without a reason. I don't know what dictates the different rarities for add-ons. I've never heard it. But yeah. Bloody Roller Skates. Not skate. Now killer gains the haste effect for 1.5. Haste effect for 1.5 seconds upon exiting undergate attack. Mid-century radio. Change uncommon rarity to common rarity. Interesting. So that's what so mid-century radio and Shattered Wrist Rocket changed rarities then. That's interesting. Forged Death Certificate reworked for each successful World Breaker token placed on a survivor via Vine Attack undetectable stats effect until the next World Breaker mode activation. Rabbit Remains changed rare rarity to very rare. Now give exhaust its stats effect for 10 seconds and increase the upside down ability cooldown by 5 seconds. Broken Skateboard reworked for when World Breaker mode starts. You basic vault windows 30% faster, and auras of pallets and windows are revealed to you within 32 meters for the next 65 seconds. Interesting. Pizza Goggles. Changed very rare rarity to rare rarity. Reworked for the undergate attacks area effect range to reduce by is reduced by 90% and its cooldown time is shortened to 25 seconds. Your exit cooldown time after executing the undergate attack is reduced by 80%. Chest Piece. Removed the negative aspect of increasing the upside down ability cooldown. The 2 charges attack radius are now diminished by 40%. And finally, at least in terms of this section, we got the Ghoul. Adjusted reticle stickiness on Survivor. On Survivor from 0.18 to 0.05 seconds when attempting a Kagane grabs. Killer can no longer automatically damage nearby survivors following a leap vault. Interesting. Well, because this video is getting way long, super long, I am going to break this down into multiple parts. So this will be part 1, and then I'm hoping to release all the parts during the same day. I like to break them up a little bit. So if you're watching this when it releases or shortly after, just wait 1 hour and part 2 should be uploaded. I'm hoping to finish it in part 2. We will see if it's, If not, I will then it'll probably be at most, I think, a 3-part series. But yeah, I just wanted to break it up because it's getting really long, and I want it to be a little bit manageable here for both of us. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 here. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the aggro guards. It helps us out a lot, and it means a lot to us. And yeah, I hope you guys will join me in part 2. Bye.